Good morning, CSL family. We're so glad you're here with us today. It's a beautiful day in Boise, Idaho. Hope you're having a great day. And please welcome Miss Lisa Biddick.
1, 2, 3. Woo-hoo.
Hello, everyone. Just so you know, I'm not Reverend Jackie. I am Donna Sheedy. So I just wanted to welcome everyone that's here in the sanctuary and that is home on Facebook Live watching us. So glad that you guys can all be here. And we have a great service for you guys today. I am Donna Sheedy, practitioner here at CSL, and Reverend Jackie is home with the sniffles. She's okay, she's fine, but she's just home with the sniffles, and I'm sure she's watching on Facebook today. So hello, Reverend Jackie. So let's kick off this service by introducing the best music in all of the Treasure Valley, and I am not biased. It is the truth. First, we have Rex Miller on my right here, and he is our fantastic musical director. And do you want to say where you're playing anywhere? No. No, okay, great. Then we have Phil Bowden on drums. Yay. And we have Ted McClurg on bass. Yay. And then, of course, as Reverend Jackie says, the sweetheart of CSL. Aww. Our dearest friend, Lisa Vidic. Yay.
Thank you.
Do you want to say where you're playing?
You know, I do dueling pianos down at the Brickyard on 6th and Main on the weekends. I've got some weekends in February coming up.
Excellent. And I think they can go to lisabidic.com.
That's right.
Yes, lisabidic.com if you want to see this lovely lady play. It is entertaining. I see her a lot, so yay. And then if you want to go to the bottom of our Facebook page or the e-blast, there is a link where you can see all of their websites and support all of the musicians here at CSL. All right, so today I'd like to go through the volunteers that are making this service happen and possible. First of all, we have Cheryl Houdon, who is on the camera. Yay, Cheryl. We have Ed Kuklinski, who is taking the pictures. Yay, thank you, Ed. Thank you, Cheryl. And Rob in the back, who's making everyone sound good. He's technology, sound, doing double duty. And then the practitioner today who is doing the spiritual practices is Joe Hughes. Yay. And JJ Bullock is our board member of the day. So thank you, JJ. And then you might have noticed when you came in, you were greeted by Robert Spence and Christina Spence. So thank you. And who made the sparkling, shiny service and the sanctuary and the bathrooms was J.G. Bullock and Holly Bostick. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's start service. So let's just settle into where we are, get ready for our spiritual practices, and let's just check in with your body. Close your eyes, take a deep cleansing breath. Just feel that breath in your lungs, your strong, healthy lungs. Feel your muscles and your bones as you sit in your chair and that support you. Feel your heart beating in your chest as the blood runs through your whole body, bringing oxygen and life to your whole body. Just your whole body supporting you. The strength, the ease, the healthiness, just those healing vibes and healing breaths going through your body. Making your body temple perfect and whole. So as you pass it on to allowing spiritual practices with Joe Hughes.
It is my honor to introduce Joanne Zimmerman, who will light the world religion candles from the Christ candle. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people in all faiths, all sentient beings, come from one great universal presence we call Spirit. In lighting the candles, we honor the one family of humanity made of so many different religions and spiritual practices. In religious science, we believe all paths lead to God. We light the first candle for Confucianism. Confucianism taught the way of harmony and propriety. We light the second candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the third candle in honor of Islam, which honors the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the fourth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The fifth and final candle honors all forms of New Thought, which believes peace is brought about by knowing our infinite nature of God, which cannot be disturbed. And now let us open our hearts and our minds to the spiritual message being brought to us by Lisa Biddick.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is love. In the stillness of this moment I am peace. I am peace. In the stillness of this moment I am peace. I am peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am peace. I am love. I am peace.
Please join me in prayer. As we enter into this sacred time in this space that we have created with our hearts and minds and consciousness, let us just take a moment to recognize the one spirit, creative source, universal power of all that is and all that ever has been or ever will be. That's that same spirit that made it all, that imagined before it could be, and then made it happen. is within the core of my being. It is what resides in me that makes me me. And I know this for myself, that this same Spirit moves through me and manifests as me. And what I know for myself, I know for each and every person today, watching here in the sanctuary or on Facebook Live later or right now. I know that we are all united with our source, that we are never, ever separated from that which made us. And so from this place of unity, I now speak my blessing for this service, knowing that it is all good, that all is happening exactly as it should. I bless each and every person sitting in this sanctuary or listening on Facebook Live. I bless each and every person who will watch this later, perhaps. And I say a special blessing for practitioner Donna Sheedy and practitioner Lisa Compton as they step forth and bring us a message that we are ready and able to hear today, here and now. And so with great gratitude for all that is, all that has happened to bring this to fruition, and for every single person here, I now release my word into the law, knowing it will be so. Namaste. Om. Shanti. Ashe. Amen. Aho. And so it is. Lisa Biddick.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaken, but I gotta it's gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb, yeah. Keep on moving, keep climbing, keep the faith, baby. It's all about the climb. Keep your faith, keep your faith. Oh.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Lisa Beddick. Oh my goodness! If that is an inspiration, I don't know what is. Seriously.
Am I
don't
the
know.
only one with goosebumps?
My name is Lisa Compton. I am a practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, along with my lovely colleague Donna Sheedy. Together, we went through practitioner training together. We became practitioners, and we continue to learn and grow together here in spirit. Today, Donna and I are doing the talk. It's kind of a little nerve-wracking, but always an honor to show up in spirit and do this. So thank you for letting us do this today. In Friday, I don't know if everybody knows this, but our founder of religious science, Ernest Holmes, it was his birthday, 135 years. He was the founder of this philosophy and this teaching. And so today, in celebration of that, this talk is all about everything you want to know about science of mind, what it is, how it works. And that's the talk today. So really, Donna and I have prepared and talked about this. And the intention today is to evoke what it is to be aware of and experience spirit right in you. That's the intention today. So that's what we're going for. So
Lisa, what this science of mind thing, religious science of mind, what is it?
that's a
Is it-
good question.
You know, what is it?
It's not really a religion, it's a philosophy, it's a teaching. And Ernest created this philosophy. It was drawn from sacred texts, from teachings of Jesus, Buddha, all different kinds of paths. And it's this notion of, it's not a notion, but it's this idea of God right where I am. It's not, although God is everywhere present, it's also in me. We're born from the divine. We're one with God. There's this, the science in science of mind is, just like science, there's a principle that is proven. Just like, and I'll say this for Rob, just like the painter that brings a yellow and a blue, and it mixes it together and it makes green. That's the principle. How does that work? I don't know. It just creates a result. So in the science of mind, really we're taking spiritual principles and we're creating our life with our consciousness, with our thinking and our beliefs. We are divine creators with all that is.
Yes. And it also has the many paths lead to one God. So it's not a I'm right, you're wrong kind of philosophy. It's a many paths lead to one God. And it's that God is in here, like Lisa said, not out there. It's within here, which is great.
So when you first came in Science of Mind, Donna, tell me about that. What was your experience of coming to a Science of Mind church?
Okay.
Tell me about that.
So I grew up in a religion that if you ate meat on Friday, you were going to hell. And it just didn't feel right. I went through the motions because if you didn't go to church on Sunday, again, you were going to hell. And I really felt that I had this calling or this tug at my heart that there had to be something else. There had to be some sort of church, some sort of philosophy, something else that was based on love, not rules that if you didn't follow, you were punished and you were going to eternal damnation kind of thing. And so I didn't go to church for years. And I just happened to find a Science of Mind magazine, not this one, but a Science of Mind magazine in the St. Luke's waiting room. And I picked it up and I was reading it, and I happened to look in the back. It's back when Science of Mind magazine had the directories of all the different locations that you could find a church. And I noticed there was one in Boise. So I came, and this is not uncommon, I felt at home. The message was of love and acceptance, and that God is within me, and it became, I didn't have to go to church, but I chose to come to church. It was about your choices and how you lived your life, and that you could create your life, and that really stuck with me, and that I really enjoyed it. So what about you, Lise?
My experience was a little bit like yours. I grew up in a Catholic church. I was telling Rob this story this morning about Father Dabovich, the Catholic church at St. Bonaventure's. And my sister and I were giggling in the back of church, and all of a sudden I hear his voice say, "Ah!" And he was looking right at us, like, no laughing in church. There's no laughing in church. So it was very rote and very solemn and very, and we fast forward into my older life. Church it wasn't very fun, although I had a sense of sacredness. It just wasn't fun. And we fast forward into the church that we attended in San Francisco, that when I walked in the door, there was music blasting and everybody in the room was dancing. There was dancing going on, and I thought, this isn't church. What is this? What is this? And then there was this message of we're co-creators with God. There's a vibration of love and joy and peace, and we're it. And we're it. And I thought, what? What is this? And so, coming from a life of, in my younger years, addiction and learning spiritual principles and learning what that's like, I really resonated with this co-creation thing just because I learned what it was to transform. So church was much different. I ended up coming into this church, and when I heard the very same kind of message being spoke, I mean, a lot of people come in here and weep from the experience of, oh my gosh, I'm just home. There's something about this philosophy and this teaching that feels like home. So, so Donna, tell me about...
What does the Science of Mind thing believe in? I mean,
Oh gosh.
what it's about? What does it believe in?
Right. So this philosophy is about knowing that we're part of this vibrating source energy of God, that although it's out there, it's also right where we are. That when we align ourselves with that, we can be at source. We can be at source in our own lives. We believe that the entire universe is here. I like to say the entire universe dwells within me. There's God, there's a universal law that makes it so, according to my thinking. That's what we believe in.
And you can expand that thinking, and that is what the beauty of it is.
Right.
Is that heaven happens to the degree that you become conscious of it. And the great thing is you can continue to expand your consciousness.
And the other thing is, if we are an expression of the divine, how would it be if we honored ourselves as an expression of the divine? What if we honored ourselves as perfect, whole, and complete? And if we really, really embodied that, how would it be to be with somebody else and honor them in that space? So that's really what we believe in.
That's powerful.
It is absolutely
very
powerful.
powerful.
So there's this thing called circumstance in our lives that, we stress out. Donna, tell me about unfavorable circumstances or something that you're experiencing that's not so good. How does science of mind, how does our philosophy address that?
So, and Reverend Jackie has said this many times. It's kind of like hits you right here. But if you want to know what someone believes, look at their life, look at their circumstances. And that's how the science of mind works, is that your life demonstrates where your beliefs and your thoughts are. And my life shows where my beliefs and my thoughts are. Science of mind is the cause and effect. So the cause is what you're thinking causes that effect, that outcome. And when you change your thinking, you can change your life. And I've in years past have had some serious financial difficulties, which I'm sure a lot of people have, and it just comes from different circumstances of losing jobs or whatever the case may be. And it was before I found this philosophy, but still making those steps to change your thinking that my job is not my source and supply. God is my source and supply. So when I changed that thinking and made the steps to a different choice, a different action, that the finances changed and the abundance opened up. And that was really powerful in my life. And it's not a place I want to go back to, because I can look back and remember what my thought processes and what my thinking was, and go, oh, I don't think like that anymore. I don't have those thoughts. I don't have those beliefs any longer. So that's what's
And there's
helped me.
always circumstance. I mean, life happens, right? There's things that we're all challenged with that we have to move through. And I think about, transforming a life of addiction into one that is much different than my life is so far away from that, a life once lived. And not that things don't come up or that where all of a sudden life becomes perfect because we're aligned with spirit. I mean, we all have our challenges and ways to grow and to become more like spirit is my mission in this lifetime, is to become more aligned and more. And am I going to do it in one lifetime? Maybe once I've ascended and gone beyond. But what an honor and a privilege to know that I'm aligned with Source, and I'm supported in everything that I do, and despite any circumstance. And so this is just the what does science of mind do for you kind of thing. But what about
how's that changed your perspective?
oh gosh, think about it, about changing my perspective. Really, it has given me more compassion for somebody going through a journey that is tough. I mean, there's still addiction in the world. There's still people struggling in relationship. There's still people having a hard time in health. And you just don't say, just change your thinking. It's going to all go away. This is a process of learning how to, I have 4 beautiful kids. 3 out of 4 have struggled in addiction. Some of them still struggling that way. But what is it to be able to be at peace and still have joy when somebody you deeply love is suffering, and have faith and trust that this too will change and transform. So, boy, if that isn't an inspiration along with Lisa Biddick, you know, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. So, Donna, where are we? Oh, how do you use this philosophy? There's the how-to. I mean, we talk about it. How do you use this? Ernest said there's a power in the universe, and you can use it. So how do we use it?
Well, you know, like you were saying, as far as we are the expression of the divine. So we can claim this. We can make this our own, and we have the choices. It is, quote, the free will, but then everybody else has that free will as well. So not everybody uses it, quote, for good. But it's like where your focus goes, your energy goes.
Absolutely.
So I know you have great examples of that.
I have a great example of that. So there's 30 years in logistics, working over 30 years of logistics. And then, you know, the last 5 years, that had become a grueling place for me to work. It was really hard. I got beat up every single day. People were mad every single day at circumstances beyond my control, no matter how. And I thought, why am I doing this? You know, I made a really good paycheck. I was making more money than I ever made in my life. Things were good that way, but my heart was so not in it anymore. And I thought, you know, I am 60 years old. How can I start over and do something different? Oh my gosh, I am faced with money and what would it be like and all of those fears and worries. And you know, that this trusting and knowing that there's a power and a presence greater than what's between my ears even, I just took a big step out, got my real estate license, I quit my job, it was scary, and things are working out beautiful. And so that's really a testament to living this life, this spiritual life, in faith, trust. So,
Yeah, and another example, you know, in the Boise area, we are growing. We are getting new people living here, and they're from all over. And you might be a little tempted to be out on the road and go, these stupid drivers. There's nothing but bad drivers out here. From, say, whatever location. So that's your focus. So guess what you're gonna see on the freeway? You're going to see a bunch of bad drivers. I can see some people shaking their heads, yeah. And this is anywhere where, if you're watching us live, wherever you're located, it doesn't have to be here in Boise. But when you focus on, I'm going to go out and drive, everybody's in the flow, everybody is conscious of their surroundings, all of a sudden people are nice when they're driving. They let you in, and they're not, aggressively driving. So that's another great example of where your energy,
where your focus
goes, your energy
flows.
goes. That's right, exactly. So it's what you focus on, and I've heard stories of people testing these principles and the laws and the practices, and they go, see, I knew that didn't work. I knew it wouldn't work. Well, of course. If you knew that it wouldn't work, then of course it's not going to work. So.
There's that quote, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. So that's a perfect testament to that, for sure. So tell me about prayer, Donna. We talk about prayer in this church a lot. How does prayer work? How does that work here?
Well, the Science of Mind, we do what's called affirmative prayer. So instead of a petition or an asking for prayer, oh, please give me a bike or please give me a new job. It's more of an affirmative. I already know it's happening regardless of what the circumstance looks like. And in that prayer, it's where you are changing your thinking and building your consciousness of receptivity so that you can experience that good. It's a revealing, and Reverend Jackie has said this many, many times. This is a revealing because it's already there. It's already yours. It's not an acquiring. So it's allowing your thinking to change to be receptive to receiving or to allowing whatever it is that you're asking prayer for. It's just like it's shifting your thinking. When you're in that space of fear and distrust, that's the part of your brain, the primitive brain or the reptilian brain. It's where that fight or flight or freeze is. And that's where, your things are getting stuck, things are not being, solutions aren't happening. So the prayer helps you to get to the part of your brain that is that receptive part. It's the frontal cortex. It's where the trust happens. And so when you reach out to a practitioner or a minister and you're requesting prayer, while you're stuck here in the back part of your brain, the amygdala, they can hold that space in the frontal part of your brain or their brain to hold that, to open that receptivity, that creativity for you until you can get there yourself. And that's how the prayer works.
I love commingling in the frontal cortex.
That's right. It's I'll meet you in the frontal cortex.
So we were commingling at our house in the frontal cortex. Go Jimmy, go 49ers, right, Rob? We were commingling. That's awesome. So,
anything else on prayer you wanted to add?
no,
You're good?
yeah, I'm good
Okay.
there. I'm good there. So, when we talk about practices in order to shift,
Yeah. So what
In order-
practices do you?
yeah,
to
there's a
kinda
lot
practice
of
this?
things that I do. We've talked about prayer. I don't know if we've talked about meditation and being in an introspective place of really, and I do this a lot. I have some dear, dear friends, and you know who you are, that we Marco Polo back and forth and really process about what is it? What do I really believe? What is it that's causing me grief? What do I need to let go of? There's using a practitioner to help you do that. There's using a friend that you love to do that. There's just, when a shift occurs, we know it. We know it. Regardless of, people in our lives that are struggling with addiction, to feel peace and joy and laugh is sometimes sometimes the only choice we have is a choice of having a choice of how we're going to be. And so that's where practice comes in every area, in every single area of our lives. That's where spiritual practice comes in. Prayer, meditation, practitioners, there's all kinds of materials and workshops, and we're really, we're teaching philosophy. This is not about coming in and doing rote prayers and then going about your day and having life as it's always been. This is about expanding, growing, and having the experience of God right in your own being. So, so Donna, if I want to learn and do and be more, tell me about that.
Well, there's lots of different things you can do. There's classes online that you can take. Reverend Jackie sometimes offers a Science of Mind 1 class, and that's actually what got me started on this journey. Is I remember sitting right there, and she was offering a class that fall, and said that if you wanted to learn about what this philosophy is about and what it has for you, take the Science of Mind 1 class. And if it doesn't change your life, your money is cheerfully refunded. and along with your misery. And so I said, how can you lose? How can you lose? So, but there's lots of different classes online, utilizing the practitioners for prayer, utilizing the practitioners for sessions. Sometimes when you're stuck, they can help shift your thinking and or continue the goodness in your life. Everything is going great and you want to keep that going. You can see a practitioner, ask for prayer, do a session. But it is a journey. It's not we come here, we gather, we listen to a message, and then we leave, and then we leave everything in these four walls. And it's something that you can take with you and do in your everyday life, in your relationships, in work relationships, family relationships, and everything that you do. It's not just what we talk about here, it's how you live your life. So it is definitely a journey. It doesn't happen overnight.
And life doesn't stop happening. We all have our good and wonderful things that we celebrate. This church is about supporting you in your good, and it's also about supporting you wherever you are. We want to meet you wherever you are, and this is our lives. As we get to have Spirit be part of our lives, and we get to enjoy the ride, whatever it looks like. And so, in this place, I think we're just, thanks Donna for sharing with me. It's been an honor to stand up here with you. At this point in time, I'm just going to invite everybody to join me in prayer. So if you would just close your eyes if that's comfortable, and we're just going to, we're going to commingle in our frontal cortex right now. Is that laughing I hear in church? Is that a little bit of joy going on? We're breathing in the infinite magnitude and majesty of all that there is. It's God, source, universal love, whatever you want to call it. You can call it just it, whatever it is for you. It's Spirit for me. It's God, everywhere present in all things, in all places. It's infinite potential running through the entire universe and beyond. It's in this place of knowing that it dwells right within me and right within every single person within the sound of my voice. It vibrates as love, sorrow, all of it, the human condition. And it's here that we know where the entire universe dwells, right where you are. Today we say a special word for those who are challenged in their health, for our frontline workers, for the doctors, the nurses, for all who attend those that are challenged that way. We say a special word for the congregants in this church going through health journeys, knowing that God is present in this and that there is more yet to be revealed for the highest and best good. We say a special word for those suffering from addiction, knowing that God is awakening in them something greater. For our Reverend Jackie at home, we say a special prayer for her, knowing that she in her rest is rejuvenated, replenished, uplifted, and that all good is taking place right where she is. For this and so much more, for the unsaid, for those out in the congregation that have a special word or a special request, it's here now where we open the prayer vortex for that special individual request to be said silently within yourself, knowing that it is blessed, it is sacred, and there is a revealing taking place for the right and perfect action. For this and so much more, we're so deeply grateful. We're deeply grateful for this time, this congregation, for those that are present and those that aren't. With so much love, we just let it go and enjoy in Thanksgiving. We celebrate and we laugh in church. And so it is, and so we let it be. Thank you.
And so it is. Again, am I the only one with goosebumps? Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. It has been fabulous co-creating this message with my dear friend Lisa. And it's just been fabulous. So now it is time for our conscious giving time. So as you are preparing your gift and your offering, let's talk about where we can get prayer this morning, because that is what this is all about, right? So just wanted to reiterate with everyone. First of all, Joe, for those of you that are here in the sanctuary, will be available in the meditation room, this side of the building, after church, if you would like to meet with her for prayer. And there is distancing in the room, so you don't have to worry about that. And you can still receive your prayer from 6 feet away. That still works. And just want to reiterate that we do have the practitioners that are here to pray for you. And you can go to our website at cslboise.org to find that list of practitioners and their phone numbers. And if you need prayer, you can also reach out to send an email to prayers@cslboise.org. And so that's another way you can do it. If you're here in the sanctuary, there is a little prayer request in the seat pocket in front of you. Unless you're in the front row, then it's behind you. But everybody else that's in front of you, you can fill this out. And there is a little box in the lobby that you can put that in. And what will happen is we'll pray on that for 30 days. All the practitioners and ministers. And as we've talked about why we know it works and how we know it works now, that it will work. So you can fill that out as well. There is also a prayer line you can call and leave a message, and it is area code 208-375-0791, and that is also listed out on our website. And there's all the different ways that you can reach out and request prayer for continued good, if you're stuck on something, or just want to request prayer for whatever reason. So before we go into the conscious giving, let's just acknowledge each other here. So if you want to namaste to the friendly person to your left, to your right, and for you online, thank you for being here. I can feel your presence through the lens, and we are all so glad that you're here. Do we have any first-timers here? Anybody here for the first or second time? Second time? Okay, great. Thank you. Just wave. Anybody else? We just want to recognize you and thank you for being here and let you know that we're here for you. So thank you. Great. I'm glad you came back. And now, as we get into the conscious giving, this is the time where we get to give back to the universe of what has been given to us. As we said in the talk, it's a very abundant universe, and that one of those laws, one of those principles is that law of attraction and law of giving, because you can't give from a fist. You have to open it and allow things to flow, allow that to flow, that money, that consciousness flows in, it flows out. And at CSL, we graciously accepted these gifts, but the gifts that do come in, that they are not just to support us, to keep the lights on, to keep the building going, though it does, but it also helps to keep the ministries going that we do. And so it is given to the community so we can keep doing what we do and keep giving what we give. And it's that flow. It is that flow. So we gratefully accept that and say thank you. And we want to be here when the pandemic's over, whenever that is happening. And more people will return, and we'll have more things going on, and we will be here because of all the generous gifts that have been coming in. So there are many ways that you can give. Again, in that seat pocket in front of you, there's this little flyer. It says Grow Through Giving. And you can text in your gift. You can e-give. Again, if you go to cslboise.org and click on what is the link there? It's the Give Now link. It'll give you all the different ways that you can give. What's nice about that is you can do it from wherever and however you want to do it. But we still, in person, we can still take checks. And there's that paper stuff that's green. I think it has dead presidents on it. We still take that too. So I think that's called cash. Some people keep that in their wallet sometimes. We still accept that as well. So another thing you can do is you can also keep CSL Boise in your estate planning and in your will. So that's something we don't really like to think about. But, for those that are planners, you can keep us in your will for that as well. So I think that's it. I think we're ready. So if you want to just take your gift, your offering in your hand, if you e-give, you can just put your hand on your heart. Oh, and we can say, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. All right. So now for Lisa Biddick and the house band. Yay!
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. May you have auspiciousness and causes of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you take no effort in your being generous, sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the word of the meaning happiness. May you always lead from the beating in your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. Oh, I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. Here's to you always making me laugh. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all.
Oh, wonderful. Please stand to receive your blessing if you'd like. Woo! Oh, look at these beautiful faces all here today. I just want to bless you, letting you know that you are the light, you are the life, you are the love, and you should go forth and have a beautiful week this next week, taking that light and that love and just spreading it everywhere. And so it is.